Let's get to it. Another week, another opportunity. Market breakdown. Today we're speaking all things Nasdaq. So let's get to the office. Let's get into it. Let's get to your office. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, man. And yeah, let's get into it. Here we're talking about Nasdaq. So basically, I want to continue the conversation with Nasdaq where we took off about 3 weeks back. I did upload a video speaking about Nasdaq and what the possible direction was for Nasdaq. And everything literally played out, I would say 90% what I actually saw in terms of the movement. A few aggressive shifts there, as you can see. That's the aggressive shift, But we do know we do come from an NFP. So the movement here that you're seeing, obviously, that is an NFP movement that took place. And of course, after a fundamental, the market does retrace and come back. So it's not a shock. We do expect to actually go up and get back into position again. So obviously one of the smartest things you want to do after each and every powerful fundamental like NFP, any powerful fundamental, whatever the direction that the market takes on the fundamental, the price will go back. It will retrace back to where the price was, and then obviously the market will continue on moving technically as it should, as usual. As you can see, what happened here, the market was obviously moving normal, high, low, giving us an uptrend movement. What I normally, obviously, guys already know, I call this the step ladder. We've been having a successful step ladder going up, down, giving us our clean buys on the lows, clean buys on the lows. But when the NFP came in, we did kind of shift the market quite aggressively. Then it did come back, pushed back to previous price. That's the low, and then it took off, obviously, successfully, going back up there as usual, as it was supposed to. So Nasdaq, let's look back into it. I saw a definite buy when we spoke about Nasdaq about 3 weeks back, and I said, look, we're gonna have a look at this a couple of weeks later and see if will the market be moving exactly we see how we actually see it now. And how I saw the buy, where I saw the buy, I saw the buy at this price. The market was moving literally around this price, just after making that powerful low there. Just get that line. Just gonna highlight that. Just after, not long after making that low there. Okay, let me see. Just track it. Refresh. Get that line. Let's get that. So take my network right. Reload. There we go. Okay, it's not getting us gold. Okay, I think I'm having network, but it should be fine now. That's perfect right there. That's perfect. Okay, there we go. There's my lines updating. So I'm just going to remove these and obviously go to the 1 hour time frame. So if I go to 1 hour time frame, as you can see, I saw the clean buy on Nasdaq when the price was around about this price. This happened obviously between the week of the 10th to the 18th. I remove these few lines just so this is exactly where I saw the exactly where I saw the buy market started to move. Looking at this push, this is an NFP push, the market had to come back and retrace and give us that buy as it was continuing to buy there again. So I want to now analyze on a 1 hour time frame and see what is the next possible move for Nasdaq going forward, given that we want to know more moves. We've seen the buy, it's been buying. What is the current position? What are the current trades right now as we speak? I mean, I won't be too long with this. We already know the price for Nasdaq that we've been buying quite aggressively over the past few days, over the past few hours. Even though when it goes down, it does drop quite aggressively. As you can see, the market did come and actually break a very powerful low here. That was what we'd normally call a triple bottom, a consistent reputation of where a price keeps going to a certain level and eventually ends up breaking it. So it was obviously, it gave us a clean buy there, breaking that high, giving us powerful lows. Still, look, I'm not going down as right now. I'm not moving anywhere. You can keep giving me those buys. We kept taking the buys. The market now did push lower and break that previous high, giving us obviously definitely a new low. And once it broke back, it's trying to break back into that high so it can continue with the uptrend. How do I identify the possible continuation of this uptrend? The first thing I want to do is to use my trend line. Trend lines, like I said, they're not meant to highlight to highlight entry point. It's just so you know the possible current trend that is currently taking place. So when I place this trend line here, just make it a bit thicker so you get it. Let's say ×3, so you can see that there. So when I place a trend line, my intention is not to initially identify a possible change of direction per se, right? I just want to see is this pattern going to continue going up. Just gonna, without actually using a more complicated tool, I'm just gonna use 2 trend lines and also highlight the top of the trend just by doing this, putting it on the low of the previous low. And then initially what it will do is instantly it will highlight a pattern that has been taking place. So this is the current pattern that Nasdaq is currently in, and it's quite evident that this pattern is a definite buy, a clean buy. But the next question is, you may see the pattern, see direction, but still not know where to take the entry. What trade is a possible advantage here? I'm definitely seeing a buy. Why am I saying seeing a buy? Am I seeing the entry point? I'm not yet seeing the entry, but what I can tell you is that just by looking at the entry point and the current 1 hour candle, by the current wick that it's currently actually what it's leaving right now, I am seeing a definite buy. So my analysis now will be based on a possible buy on Nasdaq. So we continue on the previous breakdown. Let's get a bit deeper into it. Make sure about experience load shedding. So I'm just gonna be a bit faster than you guys don't think I'm moving too fast. I'm gonna scale in quite fast, so I'm just gonna do this, highlight the highs and lows that I see after picking up the trend. There's a high there. I wanna highlight the highs and lows that I'm picking up on this trend. High there, low. See a low, obviously the very first low point there. Another high that I'm seeing, another low that I'm seeing is this one here. So the market has been technically shifting as it should. I can't see any more highs and lows on this specific time frame. This is 1 hour. So what I'm gonna do now is move to 30 minutes. Move to 30 minutes. I'm seeing a bit more movements. Therefore, I can easily just see a high point right there. That this is the latest high to current price. So current price is currently here. As you can see the graph, the candlestick is right here. This is the latest high point on this chart right now to current price, right? So the latest entry, the latest buy entry on 30 minutes would have definitely been right here on this low. So which low am I talking about? It is this low. So one would ask, why are you highlighting that low? Because it is not giving us a clean or significant clean high previous. I remember that you only buy on the buy low, selling high, but that low must be sitting on the previous high. But is this low sitting on the previous high? Could we have bought here? Yes, we could. How do you do that? We go back to what I spoke about, the power of time frames. Then I have to go down to a lower time frame. Why am I doing that? Because I'm looking for more aggressive movements. The more movements, the more technical shifts, the more highs and lows. That's how it's going to be easy for you to see your next possible shift. About 15 minutes. I want to be able to identify that. There we go. So this low here that we obviously would have taken a buy on did not have a previous high on a 30-minute time frame, but on 15 minutes, clearly you can see the market goes up, down, up, down. Not too clear. If you're not confident it's okay, then lower time frame, keep going down. Go to 5 minutes. 5 minutes will now evidently, as I zoom out there, you look at 5 minutes, it's definitely giving me a clean high, previous high, new low, even a double bottom. Lower time frame will allow you to actually enter the sniper quite easy. Double bottom, definitely a confirmation at entry point. The market then obviously keeps going up. As you can see here on the 5-minute time frame, would have taken more entries. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to 1 hour. Like I said, 1 hour, evidently on this price here, the latest entry point I see on 1 hour, the latest entry point would be this low. After that, I don't see any entries. Why am I not seeing? Because the time frame is just too high. It's too high. You can't pick up entry points on those type of time frames. You have to obviously, you are forced to scale in a bit lower into 30 minutes. So can we see any more entries? I'm trying to highlight here. I'm gonna zoom in and I'm showing you what I want to analyze today. I want to analyze this shift, this high, low, current new high, and what is the next possible trade on Nasdaq. Is there a possible buy trade apart from this lower previous high, new low? That's what we bought. Is there a possible next trade? Was there any other entries apart from this one? I don't see any on 30 minutes. So what we do is we go to a lower time frame. Go to 15 minutes. What we are looking for, we're looking for more movements. These highs, lows, highs. The more movements, the better. We're looking just for the movement. High, low, buy. High, low, buy. High, low, buy. That's the step ladder. That's how you do the barcode. So up until I can pick up a possible barcode here, I cannot take an entry point. I'm seeing a possible buy. I can't spot the entry. Let's now start spotting the previous entries that are possibly happening. This 15 minutes. Look, I'm going to analyze from here to here. Was there any more buy positions besides the 1 hour buy? I'm seeing a bit more high lows, the step ladder, but it's not too clear. So therefore, I'm going to be forced to go to 5 minutes. I zoom out a bit. This is the low we're analyzing. This is the 1 hour low push. As you can see, there's the high, one and only buy. But as I come on 5 minutes, instantly the market starts changing. The price starts coming alive. As you can see, this is the first buy we saw on 1 hour, and 30 minutes was not giving us any more buys. 15 minutes wasn't giving us any more buys. But 5 minutes, however, would allow you to take a lot more entry points. I'm going to show you how exactly I want to take those entries. I'm going to highlight all the buy entries that you would have taken as soon as you got your 1 hour, your first entry of 1 hour. So this is the first entry point that you would have got in 1 hour. Let me just do that. I'm just going to fold that in with the different colors so it's a bit more visible. We'll just do it with, let's do it with red. Let's see, that's the first entry point that we saw right there. After that, the market goes, this is 5 minutes. So now after 1 minute, 1 hour time frame, we don't see any more entries. On 5 minutes, multiple entries. First buy, after buying here, you have to wait for the market to go up, break the high. As you can see, this high here, break this high, give us a low, then we buy again. Where do we buy? Right here. The market pushed up, broke the low. Where do we buy? We buy on the previous high, making it a new low. This is the very first step to the ladder. It pushes up from here, breaking the high, goes up, comes back, gives us a new low, right on the previous high. That is the second step on the ladder. These are all buy positions. Let me just fix that properly there. These are all buy positions. As you can see, first buy entry, second buy entry. This is what I would call the clean ladder. Just gotta fix that properly there, so that it's visible right there. So this obviously would be the second entry point on the ladder. That would be the third. This would be the first entry point, second entry point. Based on the 5-minute time frame, we take another buy there. But now the confusion is, how was I sure? I know the market is buy, but how was I sure about the direct buy trend? It's quite simple. Once the market gives you a low, if you're not too confident about the push, place your trend line right on that high there. Look for minimum of 3 touches. 1, 2, 3. Right on the breakout, that is where you know that is a market confirmation. The market has broken out. Here's the breakout. Breaks out, confirms, sits on the trend line. That's your retest. So that means your first buy entry would have been the second entry point that we see based on the trend line. But when we look at the price action, definitely our first buy entry is this one. So the trend line gives you a double confirmation that the market now is definitely shifting to the upside. Going more, looking for more entries. There's a buy here, the market goes up, comes back low. That's another buy there. Market goes up, breaking that price. And then what does it do? Goes up, breaking that price, and then gives us another low. There's another low area there. I'd like to highlight it. There's another low. I'm just zooming in a bit so you guys can see it there. So as you can see there, the market buys, goes up, and then buys again. So consistently following the pattern, consistently hitting the market. So now as you can see now, the market goes up, breaks the low, and then comes up, gives us another buy entry here, but instantly it breaks back into price. What's the cause of that? The cause of that is because we're on a lower time frame. So when you are trading on lower time frames and you keep tapping back into bigger time frames, you must remember that trading on lower time frames, the price still has to go back and retrace or respect and support the prices that it has been moving on bigger time frames. So don't enjoy too much time on a lower time frame and forget that where exactly the price is going on a bigger time frame. And that is why I just went back to 1 hour there. You see, 1 hour, you see that we've been making money off such a small price. That's how you become a profitable daily trader. Stop trying to hold 1 hour, monthly candlesticks for nothing. This is how you make a daily profit. This is what being priced for the day. That's how I would have chopped the money. So now the question is, why did the price give us all this clean buy and then suddenly on 1 hour push back lower all the way down to those, obviously all those entry points? The reason being is because on a bigger time frame, you can see very well that the price it has given us a high. It has to come back to the previous low and give us a buy, a clean buy. Again, as you can see, I can see that it's currently buying. So I'm going back to 15 minutes and now I want to identify the next possible trade. So based on 1 hour, the price definitely has to push back here, obviously because it has to come and give us a set on the previous low, which is a double bottom on 15 minutes. Now, this is a definite buy entry again. As you can see, this was the first entry point. The market goes back to the first entry point. If I highlight that there, we see something that as traders we call a double bottom. The market is doing what it was doing previously. It is failing to break price. So what we're going to wait on now, damn, that's low chain. But anyway, I think that's what that price, as I was highlighting, obviously, a continuation of the price is that the market now has given us a clean double bottom. So what we're going to wait on now, I don't know if we can be able to just scale down to my screen here, which is going to be quite impossible. It's a bit small. So what the market now has been doing there is quite basic. We're going to wait for Nasdaq to give us a double bottom there. But before we can go in, we have to wait for a clean confirmation. What's a confirmation? You place your support section. It must resist. Once it resists, do not do anything up until the market starts picking up or creating an uptrend, what I call a step ladder, on a 15-minute or 5-minute time frame. The moment it starts giving us the highs and lows on the double bottom, then it is indicating a clean, perfect, correct rejection with a double bottom. Then you can climb with it back up again. So don't just let the market shoot to that point and then place your buys, because you will be buying on a downtrend, on a short downtrend, which is what you don't want. So right on that double bottom, the market is resisting. So it's failing to actually go in your lower. Wait for it to turn. Wait for it to turn on a lower time frame on your 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Once it hits that bounce, double bottom, the moment it turns on a lower time frames, 1 minute, 5 minutes, especially 5 minutes, it will definitely start giving you the highs and lows. You watch and wait for the snap. When it drops, sitting on the previous high on a 5 minutes, that's where you get your entry point. You're not sure, I showed you how to do. Placing your trend line, breaks out, confirms, retest, that will be your first entry point. And you do the exact same thing. Keep back checking on the big time frames where the price won't retrace to a bigger price, since obviously it is moving quite heavy on bigger time frames. So that's my slide breakdown on Nasdaq, and obviously adding on to what we do a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you watch all the other videos and understand exactly what we're trying to see and how we're trying to become more clinical on the market. I hope you watching these videos are making more sharp and more accurate in trading. For another week, let's go. Let's make this money. And of course, trading with the biggest, #1 leading in Africa, RCG. See you again on the next video.